Some Ukrainian and Russian troops are reportedly fighting within sight of each other in Bakhmut, while Russian President Vladimir Putin is allegedly heading to Belarus.
Officials, ambassadors and residents alike mark the beginning of Hanukkah on Sunday in Ukraine and Germany.
Protests continued to rock Peru as supporters of ousted President Pedro Castillo continued to call for new elections.
Football fans in Argentina are ecstatic after winning the World Cup in Qatar, with Lionel Messi adding his name to the greats.
Ukrainian troops stock up on supplies and transport them to the battlefront using whatever vehicles they can. While the beginning of winter has seen fighting inside Ukraine slow down, in some parts of the city of Bakhmut in Donetsk, Ukrainian and Russian troops fight within sight of each other, and the city has been all but emptied of its 70,000 inhabitants. It is clear to us that Vladimir Putin needs Bakhmut as a New Year's gift. In this New Year's speech, he wants to announce a great victory. Russian propaganda is doing everything to exaggerate the military importance of Bakhmut, which in reality is small. In a separate development, Russian President Vladimir Putin will reportedly visit Belarus today in a mission to urge his close ally to join in Russia's war effort. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his nightly address that the protection of the border with both Russia and Belarus is a constant priority, and that preparations are being made for all possible defense scenarios. People living in Kyiv are flocking to aid centers known as points of invincibility. They are to be found in many areas of the city during the hours when there are power cuts in their homes, caused by ongoing Russian shelling.
Dozens gathered in central Kyiv at sundown on Sunday to light a candle on a giant menorah on the first day of Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of lights. Kyiv's mayor Vitaly Klitschko and ambassadors from Israel, the US, Japan, Poland, Canada, France and other nations took part in the ceremony. The enemy wanted to leave us 2 days ago without light, Vitaly said. Without water, without heating, and today we light the biggest menorah in Europe. Well, this participant said the menorah represents miracles from the past, and it will grant miracles in the future as well, and I'm sure it will grant miracles in Ukraine. Officials in Berlin also reflected on the war in Ukraine during the city's own Hanukkah ceremony. German's finance minister Christian Lindor said, in these hours of darkness we are also seeing wonderful light. Putin will not reach his war aims in Ukraine. He has in us, in our societies, renewed solidarity. And he has brought liberal democracies around the world closer together. The festival lasts for 8 days and nights and is celebrated in a similar way to Christmas, by way of offering gifts and sharing meals with family and friends.
Locals in the rural village of Quinoa in the Peruvian Andes are mourning the death of a 23-year-old student. He is one of at least a dozen people who died last week in clashes between the army and supporters of ousted President Pedro Castillo. Before being removed from office, Castillo had attempted to shut down Congress, in what has been condemned by opponents as an attempted coup. His replacement, now President Diana Boluarte, has refused to resign, instead renewing her previous calls for Congress to approve early elections to curb the street protests. But Congress has rejected the call, a move widely interpreted in Peru as a desperate attempt by lawmakers to hang on to their jobs. In the capital, Lima, protesters have accused the police of using deadly firearms and disproportionate violence against them.
After more than 2 hours through all the emotions, happiness resounded in the hearts of the Argentine fans. In Pinamar on the coastline south of Buenos Aires, as well as across the whole country, Albiceleste fans gathered to celebrate a long-awaited third world title. You can't imagine how stressed we were. We were all waiting for this one. This is the one that was missing. In 1986, I didn't get to see our World Cup victory because I was small and working. I was very poor. I lived in the countryside. I was 10 years old and could not experience it. But today, I can show my children how happy I am and how my heart is bursting out of my chest. It's a reflection of the Argentine people: power, strength, values, courage, and giving everything. Messi is my idol. I'm the same age as him. I've lived everything with Messi. I didn't dare to expect him to be consecrated. It brings tears to my eyes. The comparison with Maradona is unavoidable, but it's true that Messi, with his composure, the heart he puts into it, his immense desire to win, we're also able to enjoy all of that with him. Argentina, one of the world's greatest footballing countries, has been waiting 36 years for this moment. The epilogue is worthy of a film. Lionel Messi, in his probable last selection, offered a third title to the Albiceleste and engraved his name next to Diego Maradona's in the Olympus of football and in the hearts of millions of Argentines.
Euronews, Pinamar.
French supporters looked on in anticipation as their country fought to win the World Cup until the very end, in what some have called the greatest World Cup final of all time. And while the team eventually lost, its comeback from 2-0 to a shootout in penalties caused cheers to ring out across the country. Even if we lost, it is serious for the French fans. But still, we can say that it's the best final of all time. You made us dream. Go France, I love you. We will have the next one. Thank you, France. You made us vibrant until the end. The victory is not present, but we believed in it for 4 years. Disappointment, sadness, but also a lot of euphoria. All the fans say that their team made us dream until the end. The joy is there despite everything, that they did not get a third star.
From Alcaraz, Carla Simon's Golden Bear Berlin winner. To Close by Belgian Lucas Dont, Grand Jury Prize in Cannes.
Stay strong.
And The Triangle of Sadness, Best European Film of the Year. The Lux Audience Award is a prize given for the best European film by the public and members of the European Parliament. The 5 nominated films were announced at this year's ceremony in Reykjavik.
There are an extraordinary number of very talented directors who are really making a huge contribution to all manner of not just entertainment, but also, you know, there is the social element and the social justice element and the human rights element and crucial nature of cinema to understanding who we are, where our society is, what changes need to be made, and reflecting those changes as well.
The other shortlisted films include the Turkish thriller Burning Days.
The Lux Audience Award engages not just the public, but it also engages our parliamentarians as well to reconsider, rethink, look at things from different cultures in a different way and maybe open their mind to ideas, places, themes.
The last nominee is a comedy from Portugal, Will-o'-the-Wisp. The public will be able to rate the different nominees until the 12th of June 2023.